Welcome to StreamLine Marketing Pro and sister company StreamLine Agents presentation on Open House Doors to Deals Playbook. We're going to talk about how to create and present your open house, capture leads, create future listings. So we're going to dive into this presentation. It's all about elevating your business and getting you closed deals. You're going to start your open house process about 4 to 7 days prior. This is not a situation where you just put it into MLS and throw it on MLS, throw out some signs, and hope people stop by. This is a very specific procedure so that you can maximize the benefit of doing an open house for both yourself and your sellers. First things first, you're going to announce it to the neighborhood. So it's very important whether you're dropping notices or flyers. You could do door hangers, but you do want to go ahead and announce that to at least 25 to 50 doors. You're going to reach out to them. Neighbors often know someone who wants to move nearby, and they're also potential sellers down the road. So you're networking, you're getting in front of people, and you're getting in front of potential clients, not to mention potential buyers in the future as well. So you're going to include on whatever you're leaving for them, obviously your property photo, the time and the date of the open house, QR code for a property website, make sure that's on there as well. And then a small invite or enticement that you're giving a giveaway, and of course, the address and the date and the time. So those are important pieces. Make sure you welcome them. Neighbors are welcome. I know many times, and I do hear this from people, that they hesitate to stop by because they don't want to seem nosy or whatever the case may be. They don't really have a purpose, but you'd be surprised how often that contact, that person down the street, ends up being a potential seller for you later, especially when they're impressed at how you held this open house. So definitely worth going that extra step and announcing it to the neighborhood. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to run a Facebook ad, and you want to be very specific in how you set this up. It's going to be based on awareness. You want to either get more website visitors or more traffic. And you're going to do it within 25 miles of the property address. These are important pieces because you want to drive the number of eyes to your ad, the more people who see it. You want to be able to reach those potential buyers that are out there looking. You want to pique their interest. So you definitely want to have a minimum budget of $10 a day. And, I do recommend a $20 a day focus, but $10 minimum. And you are going to want it to be for at least 4 days prior to the open house. And I do recommend that you run it through the morning of the event. So if you are doing an open house, say 1 to 3 or 1 to 4, you want that ad to actually run through 11 or 12 a.m. that day of the event. So you are going to make sure that you include some enticement, snacks, giveaways, those kinds of things. And of course, keep the ads short and positive and focused on the experience and getting them in the door. The next thing you're going to do is work on prepping your marketing assets. So this isn't going to include your property website. You want to make sure you're really taking advantage of that. You want to add that QR code to your flyers, your directional signs, your open house signage. You're going to create some item of value that you can give out. A good one is the top 4 mistakes buyers make when buying in blank city, right? Or something to that effect, something that just kind of draws them in a little bit. Have an item of value there for potential buyers. And then, prepare branded coloring pages for kids, and of course, doing the usual refreshments. But you do want to make sure that you've prepped your assets. You're going above and beyond just holding the house open, and you are making a splash really and getting attention and making sure that all of your marketing assets are top caliber. You also want to make sure that you are promoting this everywhere. So you're obviously going to put it into the MLS with the open house features there. You want it on your Facebook page, but also make sure that you're putting it on local community groups. And if you have not joined all your local community groups in your area on Facebook, I definitely recommend that you do that. It's a great place to just get your name out there, get to be known as the go-to expert for your area. So you want to make sure and obviously do Instagram and Google business page as well. By the way, StreamLine Marketing Pro, our social media service, our planner, you can do it all in one spot at one time in our program, so you're not wasting time having to go to multiple platforms. You can do it all at once. You also can add it to your email newsletter, of course, if the timing allows for that. And I definitely recommend that you get it out as much as possible, of course. So let's talk a little bit about the logistics. So with every sign-in feedback form through StreamLine Marketing Pro, that flows directly into your CRM. There's no manual entry. And of course, you can do the automated follow-up plans to just help you follow up and make sure you're really taking advantage of those leads that you're getting through those open houses. But let's talk about, you want to confirm the signage placement plan. Make sure that you've got your directional signs to drive the traffic to your open house the day of. Let's get those spontaneous people in there. And then also you want to make sure the Wi-Fi signal strength of the property is good, and be prepared. In case for whatever reason you don't have access to Wi-Fi, it goes down, whatever the case may be. So make sure you are prepared for that as well. Of course, you can play some soft background music, and as stated, have your sign-in sheet and your property feedback forms. So again, with StreamLine Marketing Pro, you do have the option to do that digitally. So then we have the StreamLine workflow. So we're gonna take a little side trip here. Within StreamLine Marketing Pro, there's a little process, and basically you are cloning what's already there, and you're adding this particular address to it, 123 Jones Road, and you're setting that up. You're setting up the tag, which is basically like a category. So in the future, let's just say it's 2 months from now, and your follow-ups have been working, and that person reaches out to you, you can see very clearly and easily where did that person come from, and you'll know that they came from this open house. So you'll add those tags, you will set up your workflow, you'll just set that to go, and all of those things are going to happen automatically within the system. So your day of checklist, that's an important piece as well, right? You want to make sure the home is ready. I know it seems like a no-brainer, right? Turn on all the lights, open the blinds, but it's just nice to have a little checklist of things for you to make sure that you've covered all your bases. Also making sure to maybe alert your sellers that any valuables, they need to have those put up as well. Okay. And then of course your property brochures, your business cards, if you've got any QR code signs, right? Those are a great way because people can use their phones to grab that information. And so it's a great way to go. Make sure that you basically are just providing the most welcoming atmosphere that also makes sure that you've got all the information that any attendees could want. Coloring pages and crayons for kids, of course, snacks and drinks and those kinds of things. All right, so let's talk about tech setup. That's pretty simple as well. Again, display any QR check-in, sign-in lists that sheets that you have. So you can do the digital ones through StreamLine Marketing Pro. You want to make sure that you've activated your StreamLine Marketing Pro workflow and that any automation is already set up for the event. Let's talk about engagement strategy, right? So new agents especially maybe might feel a little timid about how to interact. And so this obviously is not super comprehensive. It's just kind of like getting you thoughts to get you going, get you thinking about how do you really want to engage the people that attend your event, and make sure that you're starting those conversations and engaging with them, because that's going to help you post event when you are following up with them, because they've had that personal interaction with you. And we are a people business. As much as we can use technology to make our jobs easier and to help us be more effective, we are still a people business. And making that connection with these potential clients is just an important piece of the day of the event. So you want to make sure that you do that as well. All right. So we're going to go next to follow up, your automated follow up via SLMP or StreamLine Marketing Pro, right? It happens all automatically, including a property feedback survey that gets sent to them about 30 minutes after they sign in through the digital open house sign-in sheet. So there are follow-ups, reminders, and then of course a reminder to give them a call. And we recommend that the best time to do that is usually somewhere between 9:30 and 11 the next day. And sometimes the same day, maybe not so much, or the evening, I should say, like 5 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock, somewhere in there, maybe touch base. But usually the next morning is the best time frame for that. Let's talk about post-event wrap-up. So you want to make sure and review the leads that you've received. If you're not using a CRM like StreamLine Marketing Pro to help you manage those, you want to make sure that you've got a manual process for following up with those leads. And remember that in a normal market or in a depressed market, like we are right now, those leads, they can be 2 years, 5 years. It very often you are keeping in touch for long term before they're turning into a client. Many people aren't ready. They're just out looking. These are neighbors, right? So you want to keep in touch once you've made that contact. And I'll be honest with you, having watched this over the last probably 10, 15 years, I've actually watched so many agents just lose business, lose clients because they didn't keep in touch. And so when the time came, those people went somewhere else. So it's really important, your follow up, your connection, making sure that you've got good processes in place. I cannot emphasize that enough. It's a big part of making sure that your pipeline is continually filled. And so if you're in this business, to be in this business for a long time, this is what you want to do with your life, then definitely you want to make sure that you are connecting and developing these relationships over time, whether they're looking to buy or sell next month or whether it's a year or two down the road. You want to make sure that you're keeping those connections. Very important piece. All right. So let's talk about, optional add-ons for maximum impact. Of course, door prizes. You can do a home of the month display board. So basically you're calling your listing, the one you're doing the open house at, that is your home of the month. And so you're creating a display board that has information about location and of course price, best features. You're maybe pointing those out. Maybe they have paid off solar panels. Well, that's definitely a plus, because the minute people see solar panels, right, they get a little concerned about what the status is of that. Are they leased? Are they owned? Are they paid off? Are they not? So taking advantage of this moment to, again, answer those questions, the most burning questions, or pointing out really attractive things about the property or the area that the property is in. This is your moment to do that with your display board. So that's an idea for you as well to get some maximum impact about that. Doing a QR code with some testimonials, your property website. You can create a little vote for your favorite room event within your event. And of course, you can capture some short video and clips, of course, with permission, that you can use for marketing and etc. So those those things are available to you within this process. Make sure that you're really maximizing it and do your open house your way, with your personality. And these are ideas for you to really maximize the event, but do you in a big way. That's what I always tell my clients. Whatever your thing is, whatever your style, whatever your personality, you do you in a big way, because that's what attracts your clients. And people really engage with that, and they sense when people are being fake. So just be you, and just really just maximize it and pull out all the stops, but do it in a way that resonates with you, because that'll be different for every single agent. So pro tip, let's talk about that. It's not just a buyer opportunity. It's there to build your sphere. It's there to meet future sellers, to capture neighbors' trust, right? Especially if it's your neighborhood, so to speak. It's your area that you want to market and grow in. You want visibility and brand reach. This is your opportunity. So that's your pro tip right there. This is really about more than selling a house. Yes, can be beneficial to your seller. Sellers want to see the open houses, especially in a depressed market, but it can also benefit you in the long run. So it's a win-win. It's an opportunity to make a win for your seller and a win for you as well. And the more buyers you get in through the door, the better that you look for your seller, and the more opportunities you give your seller to get that sold. All right, so let's talk about this real quick. StreamLine Marketing Pro, StreamLine Agents, we're basically all things real estate, between transaction coordination services, CRM, websites, marketing, social media content, and then events or presentations like this that help you really level up your business. So it's about all things real estate, and it's about doing it all in an affordable way for you. So if you'd like more information about that, feel free to visit any of our sites. So we've got streamlineagents.net. That's our transaction coordination company. And then streamlinemarketingpro.com. And that would be our CRM and marketing company there. So thank you for joining today. And as always, if you have any questions or you want help leveling up, reach out and we'll be here for you.